Good to see you as always. Welcome back to Popternative.
Always. I mean, I got to tell you, Petey, talking to you is always one of the highlights of my day. And it's been a very, very busy time for Mr. Kim Frederick Coates.
Very
I mean,
busy.
American Primeval, I mean, that was unbelievable. Now, Dead City second season, got to come on that and give it some pepper and some spice and some icing on the cake. And
Absolutely.
I'm talking so much about Dead City these days, so happily. The last show is coming up on Sunday. I don't know when you're gonna
Yeah,
pop.
finale is right around the corner. This probably will be up by Sunday. You know me, I'm craft based question wise. So, like, it's big spoilers, I don't really, that's not my vibe. I like the big picture stuff. And I find it interesting, right? Because, anytime you're casting something that is based on, a world, a pre existing world or characters that we've seen before, I feel like it's a unique casting kind of opportunity because with Dead City, there's familiar territory with the characters we've seen from past Walking Dead series, but unfamiliar territory where there's new characters, new things. Do you think about that at all? That you're in a unique casting situation where you join like an already existing universe like this?
I do. I mean, I have, and I did. I mean, when Eli Journet reached out to me over a year ago, that he wrote this character for hopefully me to say yes to. When they sent me the first show of the second season and the fourth episode, which was a very heavy Bruegel episode,
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted to come on to this family, and I
Yep.
knew that this guy was going to be right up my alley. And once Eli and I started talking about the guy and who he maybe was in the city in Manhattan, and hedge fund operator, CEO, multi millionaire, dink, smart, conniving. I really brought the humor to this guy, though. I think, Petey, that some of the mistakes people in my mind make in movies or shows that are scary or dramatic is they forget about the comic elements, and there are certain
Yep.
characters that I feel really need to bring it. I mean, Bruce Willis, Die Hard, right? Alan Rickman was almost fired on the third or fourth day of that shoot because he was so funny and dark and had some humor. And Alan sat back in his chair. Bruce told me this story back in the day where he sat back in his chair and said, "Well, no, I think we need to do it this way."
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness they did. His conniving humor on that show was kind of what Bruegel is in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
Eli and Scotty, and I mean all these guys like Gimple over at AMC, they all let me just fly. And you could tell.
Absolutely. You know what's very hard to do, and you've done this before, playing a character that from the audience perspective is hilarious, but that character is not trying to be funny. He's just doing his thing. Goon. Because I always
Yeah,
think about your character in Goon. He's not trying to be funny. That's just who he is, but like
he
it's
is.
hilarious.
You're all right, eh? Like you're all right, eh? Like, yeah, the piss hole. Get back there in the piss hole. That's where you belong, eh? Like, I mean, that's the way that Ronnie Hortense talked. And yeah, again, the boys let me fly with that. Jay and
Absolutely. It's such a big world, the Walking Dead world. I know sometimes it's hard not to think about how big of a world you're entering, but did you use that part of your process to prepare yourself to join this world, kind of thinking about the scale of this world and the complexity of this world at all? Or is that something you kind of didn't really think about?
I didn't think about it at all. Black Hawk Down, Pearl Harbor, Sons of Anarchy. I mean, how lucky have I to have been on these massive productions that have huge undertakings and the money that they spent to make it and look right. I knew Jeffrey Dean Morgan from before. Scott Gimple, I got to meet him. Eli got to meet him. Lauren Cohen and Lisa Emery and the whole cast got to meet them. I was just, and Mikey, the director, and Ed, the director, the two directors, those guys. I mean, I'm telling you, I knew I was walking into something huge. I knew I was walking into something that was iconic. 11, 12 seasons of the spinoffs now. And Norman Reedus, who's a buddy, I did his biker show. That'll be out in September. I mean, I knew everybody. And I'm 107 years old, Petey. You know that. I look so good for my age. I'm not afraid of anything. So I was just impressed with the world that I got to step into. I was so impressed, not scared, not thinking of the big picture at all. I just wanted to be real with this guy. And Petey, like You can't make him a caricature.
No.
You can't make him unbelievable caricature cartoon figure. So that was my impetus of doing it hopefully the right way, which was to take all the chances in the world to change certain lines here and there that were I felt more Bruegel and Eli was so giving. They never stopped me. They just let me go. And so no, I never thought of it as a oh wow, the size of this universe. But when it was over, and I got to see it and watch it, and the music and the walkers, the special effects guys were incredible. Everybody was incredible on the show, so I was just really happy to be a part of it.
No, absolutely. It is. It's exciting, and you got to work with a lot of incredible, storytellers and actors on this show. But I'm gonna, flip it around. I mean, some really cool actors got to work with Kim Coates, so that's
Thanks.
also important as well to mention. My filmmaker hat thinks about these things, but it's like, especially with a show like this, we establish big world, complex worlds. We see a scene, 2-3 minutes of runtime, then it goes to the next scene. But I know that scene might have taken you the whole day or a couple of days to film, even though the final edit, we see 2-3 minutes. When those big scenes happen, Kim, do they feel like their own mini movie or mini project, or do they overall feel like part of the big
Yes.
project?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
On the last episode, when I've got the flamethrower, and we were in that church. We were in that church a lot outside of Boston. It was used for a main set piece for that incredible show of Dead City. So we were there a lot. But I'm telling you, bro, we shot that finale, flamethrower, walkers everywhere, church pews falling over, people being burned. I mean, it took 2-3 nights of solid choreography. Mikey did it beautifully, the director. The stunt guys were everywhere and safe. We had wardrobe, makeup. It was hot. It was in the summer. It's in Boston. It's humid. Yes, there's a bit of air conditioning, but the sweat actually added to the entire great couple of finale scenes that we had on that eighth episode. So it did feel like its own little movie. There's no doubt about it.
It's interesting to think about. And then last question before we wrap up. I mean, the world of, horror movies, thrillers, zombie, creature features, this has always been around. But there has been this big kind of surge in popularity of that content where people from all around the world are watching this content. And what's really interesting about it, Kim, is, people that love horror movies also watch zombie stuff. They watch thriller. They watch it all. I'm wondering super quick before we wrap up, do you think about that? Do you think about how passionate, like, the zombie fans are when you're making something like this?
I didn't until I started filming it. I didn't until my Twitter started to explode. I didn't until all the people on the set would be dying to take pictures of Lauren, Jeffrey, and myself. I mean, of course, I knew about it. I knew about the size of the Walking Dead family. But to be on it and shoot it and do it and be in it for those 4 months that I filmed the second season, it's massive, man.
It's so
It is
massive.
And as you know, Petey, there's crossover. People who love Sons love The Walking Dead. People who love Breaking Bad love Walking Dead. People who love Game of Thrones love Sons of Anarchy on bikes. I mean, it's a crossover of people like you who are passionate about what they do, and they do it so well, to find a new show with an actor that they love or they love watching, or what kind of a character is he or she going to bring to us on this one. And I think I was able to do that on Dead City.
We're always on the same page because that's where I was going with that question. As always, honor and privilege to speak with you, Kim. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Petey, come on. Let's talk in a couple of months. I got that big Kevin James movie that's opening in like, well, I can't tell you when, but come on, let's talk. Here we go.
Anytime. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Love you, buddy.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.